Welcome to Music Matters Podcast with Daryl Craig Harris, talking about all things music with celebrities, artists, music business insiders, and more.
All right, Levi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
What's your last name? Because it's hard for me to pronounce. I know your name, but I can't say it.
Right. So it's Leevi Toponen.
Okay, and then what's your artist name?
It's Leevieemeli.
Emily. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we also have my friend Tracy Lipp, engineering.
Howdy.
He's hanging out. He's going to be monitoring the referee, keeping us sane. So Helsinki, it's such a cool place. I've been here a bunch of times. I love Helsinki. Lots happening musically, creative wise, and you have an interesting background because you have music,
Right.
But then you're also a viral TikTok star,
Right.
You work with a lot of other artists in Finland, creating content, creating music videos. So how did you get started with all that?
Well, music-wise, I got started when I think I was 3 years old, watching Bon Jovi from the TV. And I always said that I want to make big concerts, be a rock star.
Right?
That was my dream. And it started when I was 3 years old. So I think I was 7 when I started playing the guitar. And I learned it all by myself. I didn't have a teacher. I actually tried once being with a teacher, but, I think it was better off, just me learning how to play Bon Jovi, learning how to play Green Day, stuff like that. And I was around 10 years old when I first entered a singing competition, and that was cool, but it didn't get me anywhere. So then I kind of practiced a little bit, and around 13 years old I went on this show called The Voice Kids.
Oh, yeah. So we should say, because they have The Voice Finland.
Yep.
They used to have Finnish Idol, which was like American Idol. But The Voice in Finland is still very popular. But they had a kids version.
Yeah, they had a kids version.
Okay,
It was
cool.
2014. And I went there. I sang a little bit of Green Day. I sang Green Day's American Idiot, which was an interesting choice for a kid back then. But
A little strong, but that's all.
yeah. I didn't know anything about the politics, but I just thought
you like the song, right?
The song was rock and roll.
Awesome.
And I actually played guitar there
cool.
too. And I got all the coaches to turn around, so it was pretty good success. But then I didn't win the thing, and I thought that I was going to be a star right after the thing, but nothing pretty much happened. I got a few gigs after the show got out on TV, but it was pretty much all that. So then I entered another competition, and the grand prize was to perform at Elämä Lapselle concert, which was this huge charity concert in Finland.
Yeah, it's on television.
Yeah, it's
there's
on
thousands
television.
of people.
Yeah, there's over 100,000 viewers. I think it might be over 1 million. It was a huge deal, and there was over 10,000 people at the arena. So I won the competition, and I got
What's the pop? Because a lot of people, many people have heard of Finland, but they don't really know a lot about Finland. What's the population of Finland approximately? Like,
it's around 5 million.
yeah. So when you do a show like that, half the country, maybe more, is watching.
Yeah. It was a huge deal. So we needed to do a recording for that, the instrumental. So I got to do that at Maki Kolehmainen's studio.
Yeah.
He's a huge producer in Finland. He's done a lot of big hits, and he made this one big pop star called Robin. And he's actually been doing stuff worldwide now, so some of the listeners might.
And Robin was kind of like well, Justin Bieber. People sometimes has a negative connotation, but I actually like Justin, but he was kind of in that vein. Right?
Yeah, he was referenced a lot to Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
So I got in contact with Maki after that contest by myself, because nothing happened again. So I got a little bit of stuff, and I got some fans, and I got followers on Instagram, but it was in the hundreds still back then. So my parents had Maki's phone number after the studio session we did for the concert. So then I after school, I came to my parents and I was like, okay, we need to call Maki now. And
We need to make something happen.
I'm gonna do it by myself. You're not gonna do it.
Right.
Because my parents never wanted me to become a star. It was always just me.
Right.
So
Yeah, they want you to go to school and have a real job.
yeah, pretty
Which is not
pretty much.
necessarily always a bad
Pretty
idea.
But
But yeah.
nowadays, they actually don't want me to get a real job.
Right.
They're like, you need to make your dream happen.
Yeah,
You know?
you're rocking. Yeah, nowadays you're rocking. But
Yeah. But yeah, back then, they just wanted me to be a regular kid.
Yeah.
But I had other plans. So I called Maki, and imagine Maki getting a phone call from a 14-year-old kid, like my voice was still like chipmunk.
Right. Yeah.
So
Hey, who's this kid calling me?
yeah.
Although
So-
Maki had, because Maki's a mutual friend of mine too.
Yeah.
He actually, sadly, he passed away this
Yeah,
year. But
yeah.
but he worked with a lot of great and developed a lot of great young artists. So he
He
had
did,
kind of
he
a history
did.
for that.
He did, and he was really good at that. So I called him, and then Alvin on the phone be like, "Okay,
Hi,
can we make some music together? How are we gonna do this?" And Maki's like, "Okay, you need to chill, chill out, and I need your parents' information." And I was like, "Dang, okay."
Yeah.
So I sent him a couple demos, and I sent him my parents' information, and then Maki got me in contact with Tracy because my voice back then wasn't there. It was all right, but I had many problems.
Yeah, and Tracy, who's here engineering with us, so Tracy also has a history of developing a lot of young artists, a lot of artists that I'm friends with too these days. So Tracy, you first came to Finland too in what, 96?
January 2nd, 96.
Yeah. So I came first in 88 and you didn't follow me, of course, a whole different thing. But me and Tracy actually went to high school together.
Yeah, that's crazy. We go that far back to 79.
Yeah, Ocean View High School at Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
And then we both strangely have ended up in Finland over the years.
Yeah, Finland's a great place.
Yeah.
It's a great
So when
place.
you first got somebody like Leevi who's so young, how do you even approach that for singing?
It's super simple because I just teach the technique that I learned in LA from top vocal coaches there. Because I took from Bob Rose, and he's great, like Beach Boys vocal coach.
Yeah. And you've had several people where you kind of found them, that you saw talent in them, and you developed. Our friend Nikki from the Barbecue Barbies,
Sure.
who now has her own thing, but Tony, Marie, Iommi, all these different great singers. And it's cool because part of the Leevi story and your story is just the music scene in Finland and how much it's changed and how actually it's very active, very vibrant, and also associated with Sweden in some ways too, because you guys have worked with some of the Swedish guys.
Yeah, we worked with this guy, Maki put it together, a guy named Jürgen Elofsson, and his first single was Britney Spears' Sometimes I Run.
Right.
So he became, and he was literally sleeping in a closet in the studio before that in Stockholm.
Yeah, it's an interesting place. That's part of the reason why I've always come back here. There's so much. We have a lot of mutual friends that are very, very active and become very successful. But let's go back to Leevi.
Okay.
So you're a young guy. You're working with Tracy. You're learning how to sing. So how does that go? Did you have like a lot of bad habits you had to get rid of, or?
Yes, no support at all. Basically, my breath control was not there. I didn't know anything about that stuff. I was just singing. I think I was pushing a lot, and also my voice was changing as a 14-year-old.
Yeah, so you're still kind of feeling the power of your voice and figuring out all that stuff.
And those were hard times. I wasn't able to sing anywhere near as high as I'm able to sing these days. But it's funny because we have a few recordings of me singing before having Tracy teach me, and a few months after, and there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
really
it's awesome.
good.
It's fun to kind of get people when they're really young too, because maybe they haven't developed bad habits or not too many. Do you think that's true, Tracy?
It can be. There's weird stuff that happens with learning how to breathe correctly as well. We're born breathing right, and then like as we go to school and are forced to sit all the time, we start developing breathing mistakes.
Yeah.
But it depends. I've had a lot of singers that breathe perfect because they grew up with family members.
Sometimes it's just trying to get them back to natural and not
That's what we're
doing
after.
weird things with their voice or trying to, because
so
people,
right.
we all have these singers that we love to hear, and you start contorting your voice and contorting your breathing, trying to sound like them, instead of finding your own voice, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the main thing that I'm doing is I'm bringing in this group of exercises. There's like 15 of them, and I get the singers to go through those exercises before we start talking
Kind of
about
build their foundation.
Yeah. So then we can have a conversation.
Right. Yeah, it's important. But I think it's also, too, that it's great for Leevi to be able to work with professionals. 'Cause I know between you and Maki, you guys have produced so many, like, bunch of Eurovision stuff and over the years and at a very high level. So that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So Leevi, so you're doing that. You're learning how to sing. When did you do your first record? Were you writing music at this point as well? Or
I was kind of practicing. So back then, Maki had several writers that were, writing songs for me and other people too. So Maki tried to make me like something like Robin was,
Right.
Kind
of Justin Bieber pop,
like a child pop star,
Right.
And it was fun, but it didn't work out as we planned.
Right.
And I think now thinking about it, I think it was good that it didn't work out because, being a pop star as a kid might have been rough.
Yeah, and it's you may be successful as a kid, but it's always a hard transition, making it transitioning into adulthood. With that.
That's right. That's right. So now it's gonna be way easier for me to start releasing new music.
And then so nowadays, obviously, with every artist, and I've just done a couple of really recent episodes about that, talking about social media, the impact of social media. And now all these guys are getting signed off of Instagram, signed off of TikTok. And then how did you get into TikTok? Because you have like millions and millions of streams, your TikTok videos. How did that come about?
Actually, Maki told me about TikTok, and I was like, kind of like, TikTok is not
it's for
cool.
It's for dad's videos or whatever.
It's for kids. I was
Right.
like, TikTok's for kids. Maki was like, dude, you're a kid.
Yeah. And by the way, you're a kid. So.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, there's huge potential there.
Yeah.
So then I made
And
one.
what year was this?
This was not too long ago. It was like, now I'm 23, so I think it was 18.
Oh, okay. Cool. So,
So-
fairly recently.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
You might have been 17.
Might have been 17. Might have been
Yeah.
17. Around that.
Right.
It was around COVID.
Yeah. But actually, that was good timing, right?
That was
Because
really
that's
good
when
timing.
TikTok had really started rocketing after COVID.
Right, that's good. That's right. So I made my first video after Maki told me to make one video and see what happens. So I made this video of me singing to my dog.
Funny.
And it's still there if someone wants to go see it.
Yeah.
It's got I just checked last night. It's got over 70,000 views, which
Wow.
is pretty good for the first video.
Yeah.
And I had 0 followers.
Right.
So I just posted that, and I think it got like 10,000 views, like in the first few hours.
Right. And you're like, whoa, I'm
I
onto
was
something.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, now I'm onto something.
Yeah.
And I made a plan that I'm gonna make one video every single day because I was stuck at home, so nothing else to do.
Yeah, during COVID. That's how this podcast
right,
started.
right.
I was like, now what am I going to do? I don't know how long this is going to go on, right?
Yeah. So I need to work something out. I can't go to the studio, so I'm stuck at home. So now I'm making TikToks, and I made TikToks every single day for a year, I think.
Oh, wow.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed a couple of days here then.
And it's
here there,
interesting
but-
because, like, now it's maybe more common, but you're a young guy, you're busy, you're out there doing stuff, but to have that kind of commitment where you're going to do that and you're going to get it done every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
But that also separates, like, artists, creators from people that are kind of casual, having fun. It's that commitment to, like, getting it done, right?
Yeah. And a lot of my TikToks were about my singing. I made a lot of singing videos, a lot of videos of me just talking nonsense, like just.
But your
fun stuff.
followers and new followers get a chance to know who you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I wanted to make sure. And I feel like a big problem that I had with my own music before TikTok was that I was kind of not myself. I think I was trying to play some.
You're
some
trying to
cool
be
guy.
like somebody else.
Yeah,
or
I was trying
like,
to be like this pop star guy.
Right.
And when I started TikTok, I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna be like how I am with my friends,
Right.
basically. So
And do you think that people like that are following you and maybe new followers, that's what they really key in on?
Yeah.
Like basically people that are kind of like posers versus people that are actually being themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
I guess authenticity or authentic.
yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So the videos that I was talking got huge views. Like some of them have millions of views. Some of them have like 100,000,
Right.
more than that. It was crazy. And then after COVID stopped, you know, and people got out.
Right.
People got out of their
Start
homes.
living their lives
Yeah,
again.
start living their lives.
Yeah.
I went outside, and it was crazy because everyone recognized me.
Yeah,
on
they're following your
TikTok.
videos. Yeah,
And
yeah.
people would come up to me at the stores, be like, "Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo?"
Funny.
Especially our kids.
Yeah.
Kids were like anywhere I went.
Well, you should say too, because of course TikTok is global, but if you live in Finland and you have that many views,
Yeah, it's-
where the population is only 6 million people,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
hell of a lot of views.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
So like probably almost the whole country is checking out your TikTok.
So I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, yeah. And Maki was like that too, because I remember we went to like the mall one time with
Right.
Maki, and everybody's like checking him out, and looking at him because he was very famous here too,
Yeah.
like our producer friend. It's cool. So that journey has led to a lot of opportunities for you. We were
Right.
just talking before we started, where
Right.
you're working with some major rock and pop stars in Finland, developing their pages, helping develop content for them. So what was that journey? Were people contacting you like, "Hey, can you help me with my TikTok?" Or
Yeah, it kind of started with I was contacted by a few brands. This big like candy brand called TV Mix, and they contacted me and asked if I could do some content for their page, and they paid me monthly for that.
Awesome.
And I was like, okay, this is cool.
yeah, and you're still young at that
Yeah,
point. Right? I
yeah.
mean, you still are young.
So I was making money from making TikTok.
Right.
So that was really cool. And those TikToks were pretty good. They got pretty good views. And
And you're developing your video skills too.
right. And that got me more jobs, more opportunities. And then, you know, making stuff for artists was like me just maybe being behind the camera, maybe just helping out people. Some of the people were like, I just contacted some people by myself, you know, just wanting to help out, you know,
Yeah.
not even asking for money. Like if I saw someone who was, you know, kind of struggling, but I saw talent, I would just be like, okay, you need to do this more, you need to do that. Maybe some of them were my friends, some of them were just people that I met online.
Yeah. I think too, like if you have a passion for creating, I mean, obviously we all need to make money and survive, but if you have a passion for
Yeah.
creating content, you want to help people, and you can see stuff where like I'm a photographer, so I see people posting photos, and sometimes I'll grab the photo, re-edit and send it to them personally. And just because I'm like, oh, that would be fun to see, like maybe we need to be, you know, make it look better for them, and
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
share
yeah.
it or whatever, and not looking for anything from it. But then also too, like I know we were just talking about the band Lordi, like you're working with them. That's one of your new kind of clients. But we actually met because we have our mutual friend Kure, who's a kind of a pop star singer who's been been known here for many, many years. And him and his partner Jenna. And that's how we met, because you were doing a music video and you came to Las Vegas. And
Yep.
I've been helping Kure do the videos for a long time. So how did you get into actually making that leap from kind of doing like creation for TikTok to actually doing like music videos? Are you filming, you directing?
So I've always been passionate about, you know, shooting videos and photos and stuff. So I went to a media school in Finland, and I studied media for 3 years. And during that time, we had just like a school thing that we needed to shoot a video.
Yeah, projects.
Yeah, it's a school project
Right.
for a video. And my friend was making music back then. So I asked him if he wanted me to shoot a video for him for free. I'm going to use it as my school project.
Yeah.
And he did this rap song called Volvo. And it was actually about the car brand.
Oh,
Volvo.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he got a lot of like these Volvo, like, there's like huge passionate
Yeah.
people.
People
who
that
just
follow the brand, love the
love
brand. Yeah.
Volvos, and
yeah.
they have, and like these old Volvos, like from the 80s
Vintage,
and the 90s, and
yeah.
vintage Volvos. So he got a lot of people to come to the shoot because he just like made a Facebook post to this Volvo
Like,
group.
hey, show up here.
Yeah,
and-
show up here, and you can have your Volvos in this music video about Volvos.
Yeah, funny. That's funny.
So I shot that video and I edited it with my phone,
Oh, okay.
and that is still the biggest music video, like views
Right.
wise,
Yeah.
that I've ever made.
Yeah.
It's got.
But
over
there's people
two-
people shooting movies on phones, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I just hate the fact is I got like good cameras after that,
Yeah.
and I really got into it. I'm much better than I was back then.
Right.
But the first video that I ever made, the first music video, has over 2 million views
Yeah.
on YouTube.
And I think, it's something I say too about even photography. Like, it's not always about having the perfect picture.
it's about the content.
Exactly.
It's about the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can touch people with the story, they overlook the flaws or the inadequacies of whatever.
That's right.
And then it's also fun as a creator to kind of see your process.
Right.
And your progress over the years. Because I have my original like bass videos I did way back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Like some of those have like almost 500,000 views.
Right.
But it's funny because I look back at it now, it looks older than crap. it's literally like almost 17 years
cringing.
old. Yeah, at the beginning.
Those
like I was-
videos are great, dude. They're
it's,
great.
It's so funny. Yeah.
I haven't seen them. I need to go look.
Yeah.
Where can I find them?
Yeah, YouTube. It's Daryl Craig Harris Space. Yeah, that's there. I used to do that. I kind of got a little bit bored with doing the bass
Right.
video thing because it's like I don't, I mean, I play and a lot of people know that I'm a bass player, but like doing the bass slap solo, it's like, oh my god, like just so much of that shit.
Right.
Nobody cares.
I remember going with you to the NAMM show,
Oh yeah,
and you would go and you would like go to these bass places with, and there'd be like these custom basses.
Yeah.
And then you go, may I? And, oh yeah, go ahead. And then you'd play, and the guys would be like, hey,
yeah. Well, that was actually funny because that's literally like 1985. It's way before you're born, Leevie. And that wasn't as prevalent, but now it's like everybody's doing that. And I kind of like moved on, and I think like you were saying, like the progress, like you started a certain thing, you're shooting videos with
Yeah.
your phone, and then you realize, oh yeah, I can actually get better cameras. But that's all a process, right?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. And it costs money to getting the good gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually got a camera right after the video got a lot of views. I was like, okay, maybe I got something here.
Yeah.
So I invested in a camera by doing summer jobs, stuff like that, and that was before TikTok, by
Yeah.
the way. That was
Oh,
like
okay.
2018, 2019,
Right.
somewhere around that. So yeah, then I got in contact with Maki, and I just asked Maki if he wanted to use me doing my school project for his own music videos and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that, because he needs a lot of music videos.
Right. Yeah, because he always
And
has artists he's
they're
trying to promote.
expensive.
Right.
So I was like, I can do them for free. And Maki was like, okay, I can pay you something, but we can try out.
Yeah.
And I made a music video for Jenna, actually.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that I did, and Maki always referenced it like, okay, I wanted a BMW, but you gave me a Ferrari. Like, this video is so good, and he was so happy, and everyone was happy with it, and I think it got pretty good, pretty good views. It was
Yeah.
all right. It was all right. Like, it was Jenna's second single.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because like a lot of people it used to be that they would look for older guys, established guys for music videos and all that. But actually a lot of the best content's coming from teenagers.
Right.
People that are
That's
really
perfect.
current, they know what's going on, they know the best editing style.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's like it's developing all the time. It's changing the ways you do stuff. Like, have you heard of this kid who Michael Bay hired to do like the drone shots for the movie Ambulance?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he was like flying like.
Yeah, he's
he
thinking
was
outside
doing
thinking
these
outside the
really
box.
cool
and-
tricks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he was like 17 years old.
Right.
And he just found him on YouTube or something.
But that was one of the things Maki liked about you,
That's right.
because he was like, Levy's doing this, like it's like guerrilla shooting. He
Right.
just goes into a space and goes, "Hey, we can do this," and it's like boop boop, and it's done.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Right.
cost $100,000.
It doesn't cost $100,000, and I was pretty fast. Like, I would shoot music videos in a day
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and a lot of the shoots take a few days.
Yeah,
More than
and
that
working
even.
with you, like with the last project that we worked
Mm-hmm.
on together, it was fun to watch you work and how you approach stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually very similar to how I do photography. Like, I don't overthink stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I go with the emotion. If it feels right, I try it.
Right.
And a lot of guys that are older guys, they might be like less likely to kind of risk that,
Mm-hmm,
right? But when you're young, you don't know it's a risk. You're just doing what feels right.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Kure hired me to go to Vegas with him, because I shot this duet for Jenna and Kure, and that was the first thing that I worked with Kure
Yeah.
back then, and Kure told me that I was so fast comparing to a lot of people that he's worked on
Sure.
before, that he was like, okay, maybe I'll bring you to Vegas, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're like,
This is
party.
so cool.
And I should say too, because you just actually, when we met, you just kind of come out of the army for a year, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So you're like Vegas, like, yeah, that sounds like a party. Let's go.
Vegas was a lot after the army. I was
Yeah.
there for a year. I was a commanding spot sergeant.
Yeah, because every young, I don't know if it's both for women and men, but every
for
young
men
man,
only.
every young man in Finland has to do a year of service, which I think is actually cool.
It's actually 6 months, 6, 9, or 12 months,
Oh, okay.
depending on what you do there,
Right, yeah.
and depending on how motivated
So
you are.
everybody in Finland has that, or men have the same kind of background with that. And that's
Yeah.
kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to like show up on time and be
Yeah,
responsible.
it does, because it's like the time schedules are really tight there. Sometimes you have only 5 minutes to get everything done. You have to put your gear on, maybe get your gun ready.
So what were you when you were in the army? What was your position, or what were you? What were you doing?
So, as I said, I was a commanding spot sergeant. So basically, I don't know what I can tell you, but basically, there's commanding spots where the big guys are. You know,
Right.
they're doing strategy and stuff like that. And basically, my job was to build it.
Yeah.
And that was always in the forest.
Right.
So we would do like these.
But you're used to doing, because of the video stuff and all that, you're used to doing projects, you're used to getting that stuff done.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, already had a good kind of prep for that.
Yeah, well, kind of, but
Not quite the same thing with the gun.
It's
but yeah.
it's completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would have to. We would put it up, the commanding spot, and then we would just like be there, be the guardians of it,
Yeah.
and then because it moves
Right,
a lot. You have to switch the place the commanding spot is at.
Yeah, so it's like a command post.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of American kids that could probably benefit from that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. So tell me, like, so the TikTok thing's rolling. You're doing music videos. You're managing social media stuff. So what's your future plans? Like, what's your ultimate goal? To kind of continue what you're doing, or do you have do you want to do movies? Is that something that's interesting? Or?
Well, I think in the future I want to focus more on my music career, because I think there's a lot of potential there, from TikTok and stuff. Now, being in the army was a break from everything, basically.
Kind of get a chance to reevaluate.
And it was hard. It was hard times for me, and I spent over 100 nights, sleeping in the forest.
Right.
Yeah, so it was really hard,
Yeah.
and it was freezing temperatures sometimes. It would get like minus 30 Celsius.
Yeah, Finland.
Yeah.
The wintertime.
It was
Yeah.
freezing cold.
Yeah, minus 30 for those Fahrenheit people is pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
bad.
pretty bitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
minus 30 and there's a line right around there where they're the same.
Yeah. Do you think that like having that experience has made you even more determined to work on your being an artist?
Yes, yes, of course. Of course, after the army ended, I needed a break from everything. I just needed to, chill.
Yeah.
Basically. But then Kura asked me to go to Vegas. Like, it was 2 months after I got out
Oh, wow.
of
Okay.
the army. So I was like, okay, let's go. And after that, okay, my break ended, but pretty much. And now
Yeah.
I've been just working on a lot of projects with Kurt, because he hired me actually to, make music, make videos,
Yeah.
make all this stuff for him. And on the side, I've been doing my own music. Just trying to figure out what what kind of music I want to make.
Yeah. So
next.
what do you do you consider yourself a pop artist, or what do you how do you look at it?
Well, I'm trying to figure it out right now because I've been making like pop/rock type of music before. I got 4 songs out on Leevieemeli and Spotify and Apple Music and all the
usual.
All the usual, yeah. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out if I want to kind of switch the style. And actually, Tracy just helped me out with some branding stuff. We did a branding quiz.
Oh, okay.
And I think that really gave me an idea of what I want to do. I don't know.
You think that's a challenge for young artists? It's kind of like we were talking about authenticity and that kind of thing. Is really finding your own voice. And like, I mean, you have people that you idolize, people that you grew up listening to, but ultimately you have to find your own thing, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that's kind of the process you've been going through.
Yeah, that's completely right. And I feel like just trying to figure out what it is. And I've been making a lot of demos. So I've been making a lot of like different kind of music. I've been making pop. I tried making country style stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried to make some. I've had this side project actually with my brother. He's doing rap.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about him a long time ago.
Yeah. And it's like a duo.
Oh, okay.
So I sing and he raps and I produce all the music.
Oh, cool. And that's, I mean, and you think about like guys like Eminem and that kind of like, there's a lot of that kind of collab. And actually, I was going to say, so how's collaboration for you? Is that something you like to do?
Of course. Like collaboration is so fun. It depends on the artist. If it works out, if we got the chemistry, then it's cool.
Yeah, you kind of have to try and see.
Yeah, of course. Just
see where the vision is.
A lot of the times people contact me or I contact people for like, maybe we can do a feature or something like that. Maybe I can do a feature on your song, or maybe you can come to my song or something like that. I always be like, okay, let's try.
Yeah.
And see how it works out. Because, it has to be real. If the chemistry is not there, then it's just not.
Yeah, and it requires a certain amount of like, I don't know, bravery is the word, but kind of like just try, like you say, and not be afraid to try it, and not be afraid to fail.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are afraid to fail, so they never start.
Right,
and that's a big problem for all of us. Like I even do with what I do with photography and that, and I just say like just get up in the morning, put your pants on, go out there and try, and there's no shame in failing.
No.
And that's when a lot of times that's when you actually learn more. You learn more from the failures than from the successes.
That's what I was about to say, because every time I fail doing something, going to a contest maybe and not getting through or something like that, it always teaches me a lesson. And I feel like, every time stuff like that happens, I think you like get better.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's your advice for young artists and young creators, especially with your TikTok success and that kind of thing?
Well, as we just talked about, just be yourself. Go with the trends, because a lot of the trends are the thing that the algorithm pushes.
Yeah.
But do the trends in your own way. Don't just go copy.
Authentic, right?
Don't just go copy people. Just like try to make something unique. Like, do the trend, but then do something different. For example, how I did the trends was like, there was a lot of like big audios that were in TikTok that were like, popping.
Right.
So I would use those, but I would sing over them.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I would make the audio, like I would make the same audio, but just like
putting kind of your interpretation on top of it.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. That's what I did, and it got a lot of views. So yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of
but the hard thing is that do I use my own audio or do I use this trending audio, which is gonna
get more views
with the algorithm, because the algorithm always loves you using like popular audios.
Right.
TikTok.
Yeah, and it's kind of navigating that. It can be daunting, right? It's just trying to it's an authenticity, plus you obviously, if you're going to do content, you want people to see it. So it's kind of figuring that how you're going to do that and still keep yourself as an artist. Right?
But the main point is just do it. Yeah. Just do it. Just don't wait. Just do it now. Yeah. Not tomorrow. Not a week after. Just do it now.
Yeah.
Like, What,
It's
what's
just like
stopping
Nike.
you?
Just like Nike says, just do it.
Just do it.
But there is something to that slogan. Actually, I like I said, I've always said that too. Like sometimes you just gotta don't worry about failing. Don't worry
Yeah.
about what people's opinion of you is. It's just
Yeah.
get up there and do it, and make it authentic. Make it work.
Yeah, and a lot of people want it to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect for TikTok.
Right.
It doesn't have to be perfect for anything. You know, a lot of the big songs out there are not perfect. They're just, it's just
Yeah,
content.
it's something that touches your
Yeah,
soul.
yeah, that's
super
right.
important. Yeah.
That's right. And if it's real, it's working. A
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that's real is not perfect.
Yeah, that's very
So-
true. How can people find you? I mean, obviously TikTok and Instagram, but so your TikTok, say your artist name again,
Leevieemeli.
and
So,
can you spell the?
yeah, I can. It's Leevieemeli.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so
It's hard.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna put links to everything.
Yeah, that's a
do,
good
do you
idea.
have a website?
No, I don't.
Okay,
But
Yeah.
you know,
and that's changed over the years too. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people, they really use their social media pages as their website, right?
right. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram,
All the usual.
all the usual. I don't have a Facebook page yet, but Tracy just told me that I should make one, so maybe
I
I'm gonna
almost
make
think
one
it's
too.
so Facebook is now almost for old guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's
what
kind
I
of funny how
thought.
that quickly that changes.
Yeah.
And Tracy, how can people find you?
I have a website. I do have one.
Yeah.
TracyLipp.com, TracyLipp. And then I am on Facebook and Instagram also.
Yeah, and are you teaching online?
I have taught online
And
and
like Zoom and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. And so if somebody's interested in something like that, then that is a possibility.
Yeah, and you're based in Finland. I'm just visiting, but you've been here, like we said, since about '96.
99 is when I moved here.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so Helsinki Records. Are you still under Helsinki Records?
Yeah.
It's
and-
kind of changing.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of changing, and
Yeah.
we're kind of partnered with Warner.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. And it's really interesting. We could do like a lot of there's. We were talking before we started. We all have our own lane, so we're going to do a separate show with Tracy because he has a little bit
that's a good
different lane
idea.
than you.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. If you're in Finland, if you're worldwide, doesn't matter. I really recommend having Tracy. Like, if you need vocal lessons, even if you don't, just try it out because it's so worth it.
Yeah, and also songwriting because he's
Oh,
been on
thanks.
some of the
It's so worth it.
biggest songs. Yeah.
Yeah, like anything, this guy's so good at what he does, and I wouldn't be anywhere near as good as I am today. You could go check me out on TikTok and judge by yourself.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't be anywhere near as good.
Hey, you know what? It takes a team. None of us can do this by ourselves. And I always say, like, you can always go further when you have a group of people that support you, that help you, that have a different perspective, that they can offer advice.
Right.
It's super important.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. So awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe. And we appreciate you joining us. Have a good day.
Thanks for joining us, and please consider subscribing to our podcast and follow us on our social media pages for guest announcements.